He's about to do his big one with this book. She lets her play with his number. I started reading a book last night and I was like, what do I want to read this week? And I think this video is gonna be just mood reading slash reading books that I have been putting off. I have some reasons why I've been putting them off. We are gonna be reading books I've been putting off. We're gonna be mood reading and we're just gonna be having the best week together. I am a flight attendant and this month I am on call. I just got called for a trip. I heard my phone ringing and I was like, before I check for my trip, let me do a little manifestation song. So I was logging on to my little work website and I was like, I can't believe I got to London. I can't believe I got to Hawaii. I can't believe I got to London. I can't believe I got to Hawaii. Because if I'm gonna fly today, that's where I wanna go. I just got called for a really bad trip. I was like, I just want a good trip. So I was doing my little manifestation song and I log on and I got a Honolulu layover. So I'm gonna have to do my little chant a little more often. I'm going to Honolulu. I am about to have to change out of my normal people clothes and put my work uniform on. This month is just honestly chaos for me. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing this week. And I did in fact start a book. I actually started it yesterday and I'm almost like 50% of the way through. This specific book I picked up because it has been on my physical TBR for a very long time. I bought this book and I was so excited to read it. And then I don't remember who it was, but I think a mutual of mine on Bookstagram was like trashing the book. And I was like, wait, I can't read that. I'm so embarrassed, but I know so many people love this book. But I just read her newest book, Not Another Love Song, and I absolutely ate it up. So I was like, okay, we have to read her first book. I'm so excited. It's also like one of my favorite top tropes ever. If you're new here, I am obsessed with anything like floral related in a book, really in real life too. It was always my dream growing up. I wanted to be an interior designer, a marine biologist. I know, I'm that girl. Or a florist. So I think it just like scratches something in my soul that's very nostalgic and dreamlike for me. But one of my favorite tropes ever is somebody who's a florist or works in a floral shop or just does something with flowers or the language of flowers. I'm just obsessed with. So the first book that we're reading in this video that I have been putting off because I saw one bad review on it, even though I know so many people love it, is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I am pretty much almost halfway through. I am eating this book up. What I can tell you so far about this book is that we are following this wedding planner, Amma, that books her first big influencer celebrity wedding. And she's so excited because it's gonna help her grow her business, her social media, and she's so stoked about it. And so she meets with the couple and everything is perfect, great. They know where they wanna get married. They know who they wanna use for their florist. And then when the couple tells Amma that, she's like, wait, who is your florist that you want to use? It's no other than Elliot Bloom, which is her ex-boyfriend. Amma is like, I literally cannot work with my ex, but this is too big of a wedding and too big of an opportunity to say no to. She ends up saying yes, and the story is just going from there. He will literally not speak to her. He says 2 words to her. It seems like it was a really bad breakup. At least that's what they're hinting at, but I don't know. I am eating this up. I am so glad I'm finally reading this. It is well past overdue. And we're just gonna start this video with this book. Also, it is on Kindle Unlimited, so I think I'm reading it so fast because I am going back and forth, but mostly reading on my Kindle. I am gonna fly to Hawaii and I will give you an update when I'm there. And yeah, we're just gonna spend the week together living my life, flying all over probably, reading, and just having the best time together. I read a decent amount, nothing too crazy. It was just a really nonstop flight. But I'm on chapter 21 and I really like this book. There are definitely some corny things about it that I'm not obsessed with. That's okay. With a lot of like popular booktok-y romances, I feel like there's kind of just corny stuff that comes with it. Just a very tropey book, just has stuff sometimes where I'm like, oh, this is such a fun time, but maybe let's not think too hard into this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe I'm just ranting. This is also just like such a pretty cover. Can we talk about that for a minute? Obsessed. How I've made it this far in life without trying Mochi, but I've never had Mochi before. And so I got one, I'm gonna try it. I'm so excited. I got a chocolate peanut butter one. Hope this heals my soul. Ooh, it's such a good texture. That's literally so good, that texture. On the way back, I obviously stopped and I got 2 more of my coconut waters because I'm crazy. So I have almost 100 pages left. I'm really curious to see how all of this is gonna tie together. The book has been laid out by present day Alma planning this wedding, and then it goes to Elliot's point of view, which Elliot's point of view is in the past when they used to date, and it's like going through their whole relationship and the problems they were having and things like that. But with 100 pages left, when we're in present day timeline, they literally have not barely talked to each other yet. We still don't even know what happened with their relationship, why they broke up. I don't think they've really even talked about anything personal yet in present day timeline. I've literally read like 245 pages. Basically, the gist of this book so far has been her planning the wedding. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, it's weird. I feel like at least at this point, present day, usually some kind of action is happening or like some kind of chat has happened. And there's like really been nothing besides wedding stuff. I'm curious to see what happens with the next 100 pages because I've already read 245. So it's just kind of crazy that they haven't really had a chat at all about the past yet. Hello! Oh, stinky breath! I do have 2 updates for you. One is I finished this book. I loved a lot of things about it. I really loved the floral and like wedding planning aspect to this book. That was really satisfying to me, of just the design for the wedding and for the reception and for the florals. Like, I loved that part of this book. In the present day, they genuinely did not have one conversation about what happened, about getting back together, about feelings. It was all in the past. And then I'm not kidding you, they barely had a let's get back together conversation. It just threw me off a little bit that I went the whole book thinking that they were gonna get back together, like see more of their relationship aspects present day, but you really didn't see any of the relationship stuff in the present. It was all in the past. I don't know, it just happened really fast at the end and you went the whole book without any present day relationship things. And I thought that that was weird. I think that's my beef with this book. I definitely read it very fast. It was very bingeable, but the more I am finding what I like, I don't really love tropey, unrealistic books. I'm just a little bit confused. And I think for that, I'm gonna give it like a 2.5, I don't even know, like 3 stars. Like, is that generous? It was okay, got the job done. I have some questions. I wish we would have gotten to see more of them in present day, like working out the relationship instead of just the last like 10 pages. That's literally what it was. My other update for you is that I have started my next book. I brought it with me on my trip because I thought I was gonna read that faster than I did. but I brought another book, and when I finished this book last night, I picked this one up on my flight. I have not seen a lot about this book, but my friend Mary DM'd me and was like, I just finished this book and I don't know why, but like, you just need to read it. And I thought about you, go into it blind. And I was like, say less. So I was in London and I saw it there. It has a different cover and even kind of a different name. The US like name is Just Last Night, but this is Just Last Night, whatever you want to call it. If you love Emily Henry, you have to read this book. And it really does feel like a UK Emily Henry kind of read. I'm 69 pages in and the writing is absolutely stunning. It says, 2 best friends, 1 mischance, and a night that changes everything. And from what I've grasped from this book, I think it's just following this group of 4 friends. The main character, Eve, has been in love with one of the friends for a really long time. And at the very beginning of the book, he gets engaged. I think there's some kind of grief that happens in this book. I'm not really sure. I really am just trying to go into it blind. And from what I know, it's a lot about friendship with really good writing and maybe a little bit of sadness sprinkled in there. I was reading it last night and I was laughing my ass off. I find myself chuckling so much reading this. I love the friend group so much. There's 4 of them. It's 2 girls and 2 guys. And it's Eve, Justin, Susie, and Ed. So Eve is the one that has been in love with Ed for a long time, and Ed is the one that just got engaged. And Justin and Susie. I don't know a lot about them yet, but it's been so much fun so far. I am a very little bit into it, so I don't have a lot to say, but I can tell you that it's funny. I am really loving the friendship aspect to it. I'm gonna read this a little bit tonight before Love Island starts, and I will see you when I keep reading. I'm about to start the morning off with some hot Pilates, but I just got 2 really fun book packages, so I have to show you some of these books. This is Daughters of Chaos. Ooh, Daughters of Chaos weaves together found texts, fabulism, and queer themes to question familiar notions of history and family, warfare, and power. The cover's pretty sick. And then I'm so excited. I got sent this series by Kels and Denise Stone. I think I've heard of Our Scorching Summer. I think they just got released in like really pretty covers and I got sent them. I'm so excited and I am so thankful. I am gonna go to Pilates. I'm gonna be discussing when I come home. So I'm gonna come home, shower, and then read. I'll update you guys on my book. A lot has happened. I am 230 pages in, so I have 170 pages left. It's so good. I can't wait to yap about it with you. I feel like, you know how in job interviews they ask you like what's your worst qualities, and you know you say something positive and make it negative, like, oh, I'm a people pleaser. That's a good thing, but also it can be a bad thing. I feel like the same thing is true about this book. It is so beautifully written, but also it kind of makes it bad in a sense. The writing is stunning, but a lot of times it is stuff that I don't understand. So I find myself skimming a lot, which has made me become detached a little bit when I'm reading. And I feel like my ADHD kicks in and I grab my phone. I start zoning out a little bit. I don't know if that explains it well, but it's such a beautifully written book, but it's kind of also its downfall because I'm not understanding some of it because I'm not from the UK. Other than that, it is so good. I need to just read you a couple quotes. Her writing is impeccable. I notice once again that company that's not the right fit for you is so much lonelier than being happily alone. What next? I keep thinking with a pain in my stomach like it's been slit open. And there's no next, stupid. That's the point. Someone has gone forever, and you have to stop waiting for them to come back. Without realizing it, you are stuck on pause, as if their not being here might change. This is what I never knew about loss. It's also what you gain. You carry a weight that you never had before. It's never behind you. It's alongside you. Forever. People say in wedding vows all the time like they understand what it means. But actually, forever is fucking huge. I read that and I was like, the point I'm at in the book now is Eve has found herself on this very unlikely adventure with a very unlikely person. And the story has taken a turn, which I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting any dash of romance from this book, but I definitely think that romance is on the horizon, which is super fun because it has been an extremely sad, heavy book. I'm really loving this book though, even though it's hard for me to get at sometimes. It is a breath of fresh air. It is definitely made for the Emily Henry girlies, and I am so excited to finish it today. I finished just last night, and I am gonna give this book 3 stars. What I said continued to be true about the writing. It was so stunning, it was impeccable, some of the most prettiest writing I have ever read. But because it was UK British humor and dialogue, it was extremely hard to follow for me personally. I love the aspects of friendship. I love the realness of grief. The aspects of their friendship was so beautiful, and it made me want to have a friend group like this for myself. And the unexpected romance was just so good and wholesome and healed something in my soul. I really, really did love this one. I really do recommend it. It just wasn't my favorite at the end of the day. This is the last book in the Beartown series. It is massive, and I truly think it's going to break my soul into little pieces in the worst and the best ways, hopefully. I feel like towards the end of this book, I will be only reading it indoors and in my own enclosed space, because I just know what is to come with this book, this series, the characters. I'm not going to be well enough to be reading anywhere in public. This is a long book. So I read this first page a long time ago and I said, oh no. I'm very nervous to be starting this, but we are gonna start my last book for this video. I feel like this book I didn't put off, I just really wanted to read it. This was more like a mood read, and this is a book I have been putting off, but I have to finish this series. I think I'm ready. I hope those are not my famous last words. So I realized I didn't give you like a brief overview of what this series is about before I jump into the last book, and you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I do yap about these books very often, and they're definitely in a few of my past reading vlogs. Pretty much anytime you see me crying, I'm probably reading one of these books. But this is the first book. This is Beartown, and in this book, it's of course the first one. So you're kind of just getting introduced to the town. You're getting to know the people very well. It's very cold here. It snows all the time. I feel like it's mostly winter. And so because of that, ice hockey is a huge sport here. And you really just take a deep dive into hockey and its players and its supporters. This book specifically follows the main superstar of the team, Kevin, and some of his friends and teammates, and also Maya, who she's not a hockey player, but her dad is the general manager of this team. Something really horrible and bad and traumatic happens. Please check the trigger warnings. And the story just kind of follows the events that happen, how people respond to the events, how the hockey team responds to the events. It's absolutely traumatizing and horrible, but there are some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people in this book. I feel like this one is just a deep dive into the town and the town's dynamics and how hockey is so important for better or for worse, and how everybody handles this really traumatic event in this town. And then in the second book, Us Against You, it's I think like 6 months after the events of the first book, and because of the really bad thing that happens in the first book, this book has new players, and also some of the players go to the neighboring town, which is called Head. Throughout the first and second book, the neighboring town Head is mentioned so much because it's like their arch rival. There's so much tension and drama that comes with Head's hockey team. And so a little bit of that is in the first book, but it's definitely in the second book because so many players leave to go play at Head. Beartown's hockey team also gets a new coach in this book. And this book is really just following like the aftermath of the first book. And I feel like in this one, you really, really, really get to know some of the most precious and amazing characters from the first book. This book like really sells you on who your favorite is, and it's just such a beautiful I'm never gonna get over the characters from these books, and in this one in specific you really just get to know them better. There's also something really traumatic that happens as well in here. I feel like with any of these books there's something really traumatic that happens. That's the first book, the second book, and then now the last book. And this series is just a deep dive into our trauma and to parenthood, all centered around this really small town and hockey. And I'm never gonna stop yapping about these books. It has been quite a few days since I've talked to you guys last. Here are my new fun nails. I had a couple days off, which was when I started this book. I am currently in New York. It is a shorter-ish layover, but we're downtown, which is super fun because then I can go out, have a cute little night. I'm not right by the airport, and I'm so glad I get to see New York for a minute. I realized I started this book. I have not told you a peep about it. It is really repetitive at the beginning, so I feel like even though I'm already like 25% in, the same stuff is kind of being talked about. So far, the beginning of this book it's 2 years later from all of the incidents that happen in the first and the second book. We are catching up on some of the main characters. We're just getting to see like what everybody's up to at the same time that this huge storm is about to blow into Beartown. We're getting to see what's going on in their lives through the storm and through prepping for the storm. It is giving heavy darkness. But if you open up the last book in a series with a huge ass storm and some of your favorite people are already dead, what are you talking about? What do you mean? like I've lived 10 lifetimes since I've started filming this video. When I film YouTube videos, I just film everything, and when I am mentally stable enough to sit down for like 4, 5, 6 hours to edit everything, I do. So I kind of lose track along the way, and this video has taken me so long to film. It is not okay. I've been struggling. This is why I've been putting off reading these books, because I knew it was gonna take a really long time, especially this last one. That's really the main one I've been putting off. I feel like I haven't updated you a lot on this specific book because it is the last of a trilogy, so I don't wanna ruin anything for you in case you do decide to read it. This one out of all of them is the most repetitive. For the beginning half of the book, it kind of was the same thing over and over again. One of my favorite characters died like right at the beginning, and they're foreshadowing my favorite character of all time dying. They literally did on page number 1. So I'm a little bit scared, but I feel like sometimes Frederick Bachman like will hint at something. It kind of ends up being something else, if that makes any sense. So I'm praying with all of my soul that it's something else and not actually what I think it's gonna be. But he literally told me on page 1, and he's also said it a couple times in the book. So I'm a little bit is an understatement. I'm really worried. So there hasn't been a lot to update you on. I don't want to ruin anything. The book just opens up with the big storm, and then Beartown's neighboring town head is like their greatest enemy ever, and their hockey facility is scrapped because of the storm. There's no roof, they can't practice there. So then they come to practice at Beartown, and they share the facility, and a lot of big fights and a lot of toxic things happen then, and I think it's gonna be really bad, even though it's already been really bad. So there's really just not much to update you on. I don't want to ruin anything, but it's just been about the rivalry. There's been a couple new characters that are introduced that are really sweet, and yeah, it's a really good book, but it's just so emotionally dense because you're so invested at this point. It's book number 3, and these fake but 100% real characters. I'm really sad but really excited to finish off this series. But this is probably gonna be my favorite series of all time. It is just remarkable. It is so important. There's everything. There's everything you could ever think of. It probably touches on in this book, for better or for worse, but it's so beautiful. Frederick Bachman is a mastermind. If you don't want to jump into a big series, read any of his other books. They're so good, and I can't believe this is coming to an end. I'm hopefully gonna finish it today and probably in the morning tomorrow. I feel like I will come really close to finishing it, but because I'm flying, I do not want to have an emotional breakdown. I cannot cry at work. And this is not really the book that you read in public, especially towards the end. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to finishing it, and when I know I'm about to like not be okay, I'm gonna just turn my little Kindle off and we'll finish it in the morning so I can cry in the comfort of my home. He's been sitting in the corner, and I turned the screen on, he ran over here. He knows what he's doing. Or did he just come to give me emotional support because he knows what's about to happen? I stopped on chapter 104 last night on my flight. I have 2 more chapters ever. I'm getting emotional even thinking about this. I'm feeling all the things right now. I am genuinely still so afraid for what is to come. I have 37 minutes left of the book. This is it. I'm so nervous. This chapter is literally called Regrets. I have my emotional support animal right here. Hopefully he doesn't move. Yeah, don't leave. I need you right now, please. Thank you. Don't go nowhere. I need you, okay? I'm already gonna throw up even thinking about what's about to happen. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. Oh no. Ugh. So many people say that your life passes before your eyes, but for most of us, we only have time to think about such small things. A single person, a small hand in ours, a giggle, breath against the palm of our hand. What? No, I knew it. There's no way. No, there's no way. Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up. There's literally same. No. Oh my God. I wanna throw up. Oh, no. Oh, please, God. Oh, no. This is literally the hardest thing I've ever read in my life. No, please. I literally have known this is gonna happen from book number 1, and I've just been lying to myself. Oh. This is so fun. She lets her play with his number. No. Oh no. I'm a mess. What is life other than moments? What is laughter other than a small victory over sorrow? A single moment, just one, when everything inside us isn't broken. Because she's the bear. The bear from Beartown. I'm gonna need a minute or 100. It's a new day and I'm never gonna get over this book. I have no words. This 1010% is a 5-star read. This whole series is a 6-star read. If you're looking for a book that has the most beautiful, complex, insane character development, like I am gonna think about these characters. Every day would be an exaggeration, but at least once a week. No book has ever made me love characters and humans so much. If you love getting attached to fictional people, this book, this series, it is for you. This is a fiction book, but it genuinely feels like nonfiction because of how real these people feel. I will never, ever, 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 ever get over this book. Get over this series, get over these characters, get over Beartown. I want to start watching hockey. That's how much this book has impacted my life. I put this off for a reason. It did take me a very, very, very long time to read this book. I think this probably is the biggest book that I've ever read. This took me almost over 2 weeks to read. It was really, really hard. It was really painful. I knew what was gonna happen from the very start, and I think that made it so hard to wanna finish because I still was not emotionally ready for the blow that happened because of this book. Reading these books, it took me a very long time. I know this was a mood reading / I'm putting these books off and I'm reading them now in this video, but all in all, I really liked these. Definitely not my favorite. Was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of fiction and romance and a study of friendship, but was a little bit hard to understand some of the humor. And then this book was just a blow to the heart. I hope you enjoyed this video. These books took me way too long to read, but I had so much fun filming this for you guys. I hope you love traveling around the world with me and reading, and I will see you very, very soon on another video.